Hey, human, no nice to get off that rental stuff and put down that can of warm sauce and that big fat old lady you're working at that's yelling for you to eat dinner. This is Bobby the Brain Heenan. I'm in your head, and I'm online at .com. So get with it, or I'm moving next door to you. You won't like it, because you like your wife. I guess you would like it.
All right, we are back. Welcome to the show, Baron von Raschke. Welcome in your head.
Well, thank you for having me on, here, Jack. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's everybody else doing?
What?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing good.
Ooh. Let everybody know that everybody can check out your website, baronvonraschke.com. You can buy all kinds of goodies.
That'll tell them everything they need to know.
You can even buy stuff there. You get the T-shirts, you get autographed photos, action figures, shot glasses, fishing lore.
That's right. We have lots of stuff.
Have you used the fishing lure yourself?
I have, but I had my usual luck. But other people have, and they catch a lot of different fish with it.
Mm-hmm.
From bass to northern pike to walleyes, blah blah blah.
I thought Incher was brought up. He thought you were a vegetarian.
Who did that?
Incher. Yeah, that was me.
Oh, Incher. You call him Incher?
Yeah, Incher. No OIB.
Biceps. OIB. I have an assortment.
Okay, I got it. No, I've never been I've always been a carnivore. I grew up on eating meat, usually cooked, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
No, I think you got me confused with Killer Kowalski. He's much more handsome than I am, so.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Maybe it works. I heard he just got married, by the way.
Oh, he did?
That's right.
He must be, we'll have to try to get him on the show.
He's up there in age, and he's first time married.
Yeah, maybe he'll have another kid.
Like Mad Dog Vachon said, it's never too late to make a mistake.
We got a caller here. Who is this?
Hey, it's Jason from the message board.
Hey, you're on there with Baron von Raschke. You got a question?
Yes, I do. I want to know how the Baron came involved with SummerSlam 88, managing the Powers of Pain.
Well, I'll tell you, Jason, it was a phone call from Vince McMahon Jr. He heard about Bobby Heenan's plan. Bobby Heenan, a long time ago, him and I were riding in a car. He was my manager at the time, and Bobby said, there's this one wrestler. He said, if I ever get to be a promoter, Bobby Heenan didn't like this particular guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but I know it. He said, I don't like him, and he said, this, that, and the other. He said, if I ever get to be a promoter, he's going to be the first guy I call. I'm going to fly him in just to fire him. And I think Vince McMahon overheard him telling that story, and that's why he hired me to manage the Powers of Pain, so he could fire me. I don't know.
Any other questions?
Did you get it, Jason?
Yeah,
Jason's still there?
You still there, Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear you too good there, man.
Oh, sorry.
They're both good guys, but it wasn't to be.
Mm-hmm. Did they give you? Was there any reason why they let you go so quick? Or they just didn't think it was working out?
No, not really.
Did you enjoy doing the manager role?
Oh, I didn't mind it. The business was the business to me. I could do whatever I needed to do to make the crowd happy, and yeah, they were both good guys, and I enjoyed working with them, and they had a lot of nice people around. It's just one of those things in the business world.
Mm-hmm. What were the differences between Vince Senior and Vince Junior?
Well, one was much older.
It usually works out that way.
Yeah, at the time he was much older. Now the other one's caught up. But what's the difference? I don't know.
They didn't really
any difference. They're just two different kind of businessmen. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for calling in, Jason.
See you, Jason.
Has WWE come to you with an offer for a Legends contract?
A Legends contract?
Yeah, because they're doing that and they're putting out the new action figures.
No, they haven't done anything like that. I did a thing for a Legends tape that they put out.
The AWA one?
The AWA tape they put out.
Were you happy with that? How that turned out?
Well, they put out a pretty good product. It it was one of the better things I've seen him do. It wasn't, there were no naked women, and there was no naked guys, and there were no midget butts or anything in it, so it was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. That was definitely one of my favorite DVDs that they put out for a while. You got a question?
You know, they usually aren't that high class, so, but that particular product was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So I think you're not really a fan anymore of wrestling product on TV?
I don't, try not to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to comment about it. It just sounds like sour grapes, and I don't feel that
right.
way.
I understand. I know you did an appearance
I'm an old guy. It passed me by. I don't understand it, and it's not as interesting to me, so I avoid it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I getcha. I know you did an appearance for Ring of Honor a few years ago. Did you enjoy working for them?
Oh, sure, yeah. They paid me, so it was great. And by the way, their wrestling was the wrestling show that they put on that night. It was in Milwaukee. They had a lot of good competitors, and it was a very, very interesting show. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed watching the wrestling they put on. So
yeah,
they got the right idea. Probably not.
What do you say now, Hitcher?
Oh, I was just going to ask a question from the message board. Extreme Falls, he wants to know, what is your fondest memory of the AWA?
I spent a lot of years in the AWA Incher, and I got to meet a lot of wonderful people, all wrestlers, referees, ring guys, setup guys, promoters, and it was just a good time in our lives, and I have a lot of fond, warm, fuzzy memories about the AWA, and they pop up in my brain every once in a while. But apparently none are popping up now. So
were you on
I think it was a total package. It was just a great time in my life.
Were you on the plane when Mad Dog opened it up?
No, and I'm glad I wasn't, because I'm not a very good flyer anyway. Mad Dog's one of my dearest friends, but you know, the guy's nuts.
I was going to ask about that. A lot of people we talked to, they say he really lived up to his nickname.
Oh yeah, you know, back in the days of the AWA and the WWF, when the old man had it. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Vince, but you were. Anyway, that's what he called him. Anyway, yeah, it was the characters then were you know, you had the Crusher, and the Crusher was the Crusher, the Bruiser was the Bruiser, the Mad Dog was the Mad Dog, and so on and so forth, and they were characters that developed over a long, long period of time. Mad Dog didn't come up with that until 14 years in the business, and he was because of something that happened in Oregon, where he was almost locked up because of it. He became the Mad Dog, and that really worked for him because it fit his personality, fit his size and shape and color of his hair and everything else. It was just one of those things.
What was the story there? Can't you go into it?
What?
What was the story there where he came up with the name Mad Dog?
Actually, who's the promoter in Oregon? I never worked for him. Don Owen.
Okay.
Don Owen. Don Owen was a promoter, and Mad Dog had come in there, and he was just supposed to, you know, be in the middle card, not cause too many problems. And his first night in town, he was an excellent wrestler. He did it, you know, he did it the best he could, and it was always stupendous. He could do everything, and he was a great worker. And he got there, and whoever he was working with, they went outside the ring. They picked up chairs, they threw chairs, blah blah blah. Anyway, and to make a long story short, or a short story long, he caused a near riot, and nearly got everybody arrested. Don Owens had to pay some people some money to make sure everything got settled down. He came after sweat and tears and blood and beer and mud. He went back in the dressing room, and Mad Dog sitting there and kind of rocking in his chair. And Don Owen, who was a very nice, mild-mannered man, he says, "Sean, you were like a Mad Dog tonight." And Mad Dog says, "Yes, I was, and I'd do it again." And from then on, they called him the Mad Dog in Oregon. And then Vern Gagne heard about that or whatever. I don't know how that happened, but he wound up in Omaha, Nebraska, and as Mad Dog Vachon. And pretty soon he was wrestling in the AWA as Mad Dog Vachon. And history was made, and he was a Mad Dog, so why not?
I'll get another caller here. Who is this?
Chris?
Hi, Chris. You're on there with Baron Von Raschke. You got a question?
Yeah, I wanted to know if he can tell us some about the play that he has coming up.
Sure. The play.
Yeah.
The play is a story about Baron Von Raschke as both a wrestler, an amateur wrestler. Let me back up. Professional wrestler, earlier as an amateur wrestler and growing up, and all the little foibles. That's the basis of the story, but it's got a lot of other things in it. It's a real good. The guy who wrote it, Corey McLeod, is an excellent playwright, and it was his idea and stuff. And he makes my very, very mundane, boring life into quite a story, and it's very interesting, and it's a lot of fun. And it's at the History Theater in St. Paul, Minnesota, and it starts April 14th, I think.
Are you playing in
April 12th? Yeah, there was a lot of discussion about that. You know, they thought, and they tried to actually hire other people. They called George Clooney, but he wasn't available. Brad Pitt had a project he was involved in. So they said, well, you might as well play yourself. Unfortunately, they gave me the part of old Jim, and somebody else the part of young Jim, or old Baron, young Baron, whatever you want to say. Anyway, I was playing old Baron.
Oh. I would have thought it would have been the other way around.
Huh?
I would have thought you might have played yourself as a child.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Any other, is there a lot of, like, wrestling parts in it? Other, like, wrestling names from the past?
Oh, yeah. There's, Corey interviewed me to get the basis for the story, and then I gave him names of several dozen wrestlers, and he contacted them and got stories from them, and so it's his work. It's just
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It's not just about the Baron. It's about life, and it's fun, and there's sad parts, and it's not all about me. It's about different things.
Mm-hmm.
It got a good reception when we read through it a year and a half ago, so it should be good.
Get another question, Chris?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in, man.
I'll see you at the play.
Thanks.
Okay, Chris.
He's turning 13 on Sunday, so
Yeah.
he's one of your younger fans, I think.
That was 13?
Yeah, he's 12. He called in earlier. He's telling us he turns 13 on Sunday.
Oh.
We'll give him a happy birthday. Want to give him a happy birthday from the Baron?
You bet. Where's he from?
I'm not really sure where Chris is from. He never says. He just says his name's Chris. He says Chris to
Where
Chris.
they got like a bird star, Chris?
Yeah. We'll have to edit that out and give it to him for like
Happy birthday, Chris, when you turn 13 there.
There's something else I read on your website that you did some music videos. How did that come up?
They came out good.
I mean, was that something like, were they fans of yours and wanted you to be in their music videos?
Well, actually, the people that were making the video contacted me, and they wanted me to be in it, and they contacted me, and it was a group called the Afghan Wigs, the first one, and at the time they were a real hot band from Cincinnati, and they were going national. Actually, after we cut the video, the Afghan Wigs were on the Dave Letterman show, so they were going places, but then all of a sudden, I think the lead singer decided to go into movies or something. I haven't heard of him since, but maybe he's a big star, I don't know, but not by that name. Anyway, Harder Fuller produced a lot of videos out of the Twin Cities, and I've been in 3 of them, I think. And that's that story. So.
You brought
I'm
up
a rocker, man. Hey.
You can see that.
I grew up with rock and roll.
You mentioned Bobby Heenan earlier. You got any funny stories with Bobby Heenan?
I got a lot of them. 'Cause we can't talk about on public radio, though.
Did you ever say anything that's like made you laugh on camera?
Have I ever?
Yeah. Did like Heenan ever say anything like on a promo or something that made you laugh while you guys were on camera?
Oh, many times I just can't recall them all, you know. But sure, he's a very witty person. He's one of the. He was certainly the best manager that I was ever around, and witty and sharp. And,
It's definitely one of our favorite guests of all time.
What?
He's one of our favorite guests we've ever had on here.
Oh yeah, he's a fun guy to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw him in Milwaukee about a month ago, just before Christmas.
Yeah. How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's he's had he's been through a lot because of the operation for his cancer in his mouth, and but he's getting more and more understandable, and he's just as sharp as ever as far as mentally, and a lot of fun. My wife and I we were sitting next to him in the sign-up line. He kept us in tears most of the night laughing.
Yeah, we saw him at a live Q&A in the summertime, and it was really good. It was him and Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
You couldn't get two better managers there, I guess.
No, they're pretty good.
You guys got a question from the board?
What do you think about Vern being inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame?
Well, at first I thought, gee, that's strange, but then I realized that it made a business deal where he'd sold them the AWA, I guess, the film archives and all that stuff. So then it made more sense. Of course, as far as professional wrestlers and people that were a credit to the business, Vern Gagne would certainly be up among the top echelon, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. So I'm glad for him that he got into the Hall of Fame. It's a big honor and a different kind of hall that he's used to. But anyway, it was a big honor for Vern, I'm sure. And, I'm happy for anybody that gets some recognition out of the sport.
Have they?
I'd rather be rich myself. I got semi-famous, but never rich.
How are you doing health-wise? Do you have any long-term injuries from your long career?
Well, I've had 2 knee replacements, and my shoulders have both been recarved. But other than that, I feel pretty good. I'm getting along day by day.
Is this like when you saw like the Ring of Honor show and like the guys do a lot of big bumps now? You ever think these guys are going to be hurting when they get older and won't have a really long career?
Well, if the big bumps meant anything, it would be different. But they do a lot of them just to do with bumps, so it doesn't mean much, and it's kind of silly. But they'll pay the price when they're older, sure. I did my share of bumps back in the day, and I feel them occasionally. So it's something for them to look forward to anyway. But most of them don't last that long anymore anyway. So.
You think it'd be harder to really make like a living in wrestling now when there's no more territories?
I would imagine it is. There are people that still make a living. Depends on what you call a living. I don't know what they pay guys, but these local promoters. Actually, I do know what they pay them, but they're making less than minimum wage, but but they love it, so they do it. And that's fine too. That's what sport's all about.
We get a caller here. Who is this?
This is Benny from Minnesota.
Hey, you got a question for Baron Von Raschke?
Yeah, I just want to hey Baron, what's up?
Sky's up. What is it, Benny?
I think you said, yeah, Benny.
From Minnesota.
Hi, Benny from Minnesota.
I just want to say thanks for entertaining me. I grew up with AWA and stuff, just watching and stuff.
Where you live in Minnesota?
Burnsville.
Burnsville. Okay, I used to substitute teach at Burnsville High.
Oh wow, cool.
You weren't one of my students, were you?
No. Actually, I'm from Owatonna, so.
Oh, Owatonna, yeah. I never got that far north.
Yeah.
But anyway, for teaching.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks, so, for entertaining.
Well, I enjoyed what I did, and I hope everybody enjoyed watching, and it was a lot of fun for me. And I'm always glad to hear from guys like you, Benny, that enjoyed it, appreciate it. God bless you.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm an old school wrestling fan. So.
Very good.
Yeah, you got any question?
No, that's it. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for calling in.
Yep, that's it. Bye.
Thank you, Benny.
Were you doing the teaching while you were wrestling?
No, during my career, I didn't teach. I taught before I wrestled pro, and later on when I was eventually wending my way out. But when I was wrestling full time, no, I didn't have time.
Later on, did any of your students ever recognize you?
Yeah, because I was still on TV occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
The first few days I'd cause quite a stir in the hallways and signing autographs and all that stuff. And then after about 3 or 4 weeks, that would settle down. I'd just be another teacher, old Mr. Raschke, and I would be just like all the other teachers, fighting for my life.
You got another question from the board?
Extreme Falls, he has another one about the AWA. He was just asking, whenever it started going downhill, why do you think it went so fast?
Well, Vince Jr. had bought all the TVs and that the AWA was getting for free or for a little money, and came and bought their time slots. If you're not on TV, it's axiom of the business that TV makes the shows. They lost TVs, one after the other. And then Vern started going way out to New Jersey in their backyard. Instead of taking care of his own backyard, he was expanding the territory when he should have been consolidating. I guess, I don't know. I've never gotten a better end of a business deal yet, so. Anyway, that's my opinion. I'll stick to it.
Did you ever think of, after you were done wrestling in the ring, ever becoming a booker or promoter yourself?
Well, if there would have been an opportunity at the time, yeah, I could have done that, or would have liked to have done that, but nobody ever asked me, so
right.
I didn't get a chance to do it.
Well, if we start up our own wrestling, maybe we'll bring you on as a booker.
Okay, sounds good.
Did you ever have any hesitation doing the German gimmick, after being in the military and the Olympics?
Not really, because, that was a show business thing, and part of professional wrestling is show business, a very big part of it, and I kind of understood that from the beginning, that having been an amateur wrestler, that it was more show than go, and no, I accepted it. I just got married, and I knew I had to feed my wife and myself, not just myself. I figured I better go with the flow.
Did you enjoy getting the fans to boo you?
I enjoyed working, and whether the fans made their choice. When I walked to the ring, they started booing, and when they booed, I reacted negatively to that, and they reacted back, and I reacted back, and so one thing led to another, and I was booed, so I was responding to them a little bit, and they were responding to me a lot, so no, I enjoyed all aspects of my professional wrestling career.
Mm-hmm. Later on in the AWA, you started getting cheered. Did you think that was weird?
Well, no, because they were cheering for the right reasons. I came back to avenge Mad Dog, who had been hurt by Jerry Blackwell, and Big John Studd, and at the time they were the most hated people in the area, so why wouldn't they cheer for me? Although I didn't do anything different, I just came back and wailed on them as best I could, and people liked it, so I went with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I reacted to their reactions. They were nice to me. I was nice to them.
Mm-hmm. What was it like wrestling the Bear?
Wrestling the Bear?
Mm-hmm.
Well, bears are kind of natural wrestlers, having been amateur wrestlers. They've got low center of gravity. Their hips are low to the ground, and their legs and hips are bigger than the rest of their body. And of course they're animals, so they have a lot of strength. And they have a lot of great balance. So wrestling a bear is quite a challenge. And I did get him on his back once, but the guy wouldn't call the fall. But anyway, wrestling a bear was a scary thing. Bobby Heenan was my manager in these contests, and as we went from town to town wrestling this bear, the match would get over, and crowd pleaser for the fans. The bear would sit on a little stool that they brought to the ring, and his trainer or manager or whoever it was Dave McKagney would give the bear a bottle of Coca-Cola filled with chocolate milk that the bear loved. And he'd take it in his paws, and he'd sit on the stool, and he'd pick it up and lift it to the sky or to the ceiling, and he'd drink this Coca-Cola, and the fans just loved that. And just then, Bobby Heenan would sneak up behind the bear and give him a whack with his boot. And the bear would go, "Mwah!" Turns just before the best. He did that the first night, then he did it the second night, and the bear turned a little more. Roar! Third night, more. Roar! Fourth night, roar! And the fifth night, before Bobby got within 3 feet of him, he jumped off of the stool and went, roar! You've never seen anybody move as fast as Bobby did. But the bear was a challenge. But, he was an attraction for wrestling fans.
Yeah. Did you ever get in trouble with any of the fans? Any of them try to attack you or anything?
Sure. Many times. When I was first wrestling up in Montreal, in the Montreal territory, Quebec, Mad Dog and I were partners, and he's a little ugly guy, and I'm a big ugly guy, and we had a lot of heat, and the fans didn't like us very much at all. It got so bad that we used to have riots on the way to the ring, and for sure a riot on the way out of the ring. So, we had a lot of contact with fans that probably was not proper, but we lived through it. Most of them lived through it too.
Yeah, question here in our chat room, Go13. He wants to know, what was it like working with the Road Warriors?
Go. It was kind of like a challenge, like working with the bear. They were, actually they were both great guys and great workers. Occasionally they were influenced by other things. They were a little hard to deal with. I like both of the guys.
Who's easier to get to do the job, the bear or the Road Warrior?
The bear.
Bear not better, I think, as well.
No, they were out doing the best they could. They were getting away with other stuff because they had some power. They were both great athletes and all this stuff. So, to me, they were fun to work with. It was just they had a strong work that sometimes things got a little body hand with them. I'm not sure.
Do you think there could be a bear around Raschke in wrestling today, or do you think America's too politically correct?
Oh, but I don't know why not.
Well, they had to, the Lucha character, and they had to take it off TV.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay.
Will everybody know again about your play coming up, St. Paul, Minnesota? And what's the date on that again? Is it April?
Opens on April 12th, and it runs for until the end of May.
All right.
And it's on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and there's a couple matinees in there on Thursdays and Saturdays. So get your tickets early, run, don't walk to the arena. Oh, no. Right in St. Paul, it's a lot of fun. It's fun. It's going to be a great time. A lot of good. And
we'll probably more information up on BearBarRaschke.com when it gets closer.
BearBarRaschke.com. Check out the website. should be information about it. And hope to see you there. If you stop by, say hello, and I'll be good to talk to you.
All right. Anything you want to tell your fans out there? We'll let you go.
I think they've heard enough from me. And that's all they need to know. And that is all you need to know, Jack. Sure. And Barbie, baby.
Awesome.
This is Greg Gagne, and you're listening to In Your Head, online.com.